Hello, good morning, everyone. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, everyone. This is Evangelist Karen with your Monday morning word. Right, first, let me get to this so I can get to the word. Thank you to everyone who attended Intercessors Arise, everyone that contributed anything, the volunteers, the staff, anything that you did, just your very presence. I thank you. A very special thank you to Prophetess Angelica Lynn. She came in like a fire, like a whirlwind. Let me tell you, God moved in a tremendous way. Y'all, also Apostle Sandy Norman, y'all came and dropped a word. We are not the status quo. Then I have my sister Gwendolyn Forte, came from Ohio to MC and host with me. Man, we had a good time. Save that date, October 27th and 28th, because we're going to have the Power of a Voice conference, which is, my baby. So we're going to just go ahead, and I just thank you all for coming. Those who drove far and near, because I want to get into this word today. Probably got about 10 minutes. So I want to give it to y'all how God gave it to me. And I don't want to have to, shortcut this thing of what it is that God is doing. So I heard the Lord say last night, he said, the audibles of God. I said, okay, the audibles of God. What does audible mean? It means that you are able to be heard. It means that there is a change in an offensive play that is called by the quarterback at the line of scrimmage. I need somebody to know that God is your quarterback and he is calling audibles. My God, Rebasaya. It says to change plans at the last minute based on newly revealed information. So God is changing some things. God is causing some audibles to happen in this season, and you've got to be able to hear the play in order to win. You've got to be able to hear the play in order to do what? In order to score. I said, what is the line of scrimmage? And the line of scrimmage is simply this. It is an imaginary line that is parallel to the goal line where the ball is placed. Some of you need to understand that you are right at the line and you're getting ready to score. Because God is calling an audible at the line of scrimmage. The quarterback does what? The quarterback begins to assess, my God, what is getting ready to happen based upon how their defenders are lined up. God calls audibles because he sees that the devil has some things that is lined up to stop you from reaching your goal. God says, listen to my voice, children. I'm getting ready, Labasoya, to call some audibles. Woo! God calls audibles. Y'all type that in the comments. God calls audibles, my God, on today. Just when you feel like you're on the edge of being prosperous, just like you began to Labasota Labakaya, God calls an audible because he can see what the enemy, my God, has planned. He can see that there is something, a strategy that the enemy is getting ready to use to try and stop you from reaching your goal. In this season, you're going to have to be able to hear the audible of God so that you can shift, my God. We talked about that in Apostle Sandy's room, so that we can begin to shift. My God, God said, I call audible so that you can shift in the play. My God, on today, you got to be able to shift the manso talabaya when he calls the audible. Why? Because one wrong move can cause you to miss your goal. You don't want to miss your goal in this season. You want to hear the audible when it's called, and you want to shift accordingly. Abraham was in his father's house, and God called an audible. He told him, he said, I need you to leave your father's house. I need you to come from amongst them. My God, he called an audible. He said, come out from amongst them. And if Abraham had not listened to the audible voice of God, if he had not listened to the audible that he was changing his direction in his life, he would have never received the promise. My God, on today, sometimes you think that God will have you in a place forever. Sometimes you think that you've reached that place, my God, in God, and he'll call an audible, my God, and he'll tell you to move, and you got to do according to what it is that he said he was going to do. King Jehoshaphat was in the Bible, and King Jehoshaphat, he was facing this vast army, my God, and the people began to fear. Even he had to fear, but he consulted God, and God called God called an audible. My God, he told him, look, this is what I want you to do, because this battle is not yours, but it is the Lord's. You need to understand that when the enemy is positioned in defense mode, my God, when the enemy is standing against you and you're trying to reach your goal, hear the voice of God, because he is causing an audible. There was a king in the Bible who was afraid because he heard that there was a king that was coming through the Jewish line, my God, that was coming there, Messiah, through the Israels. And so what did he do? He put out word that he wanted all the babies 2 years and under to be slaughtered, to be killed, my God. And we understand that Moses, when Moses, that was Moses. And what happened when he was born? When he was born, there was an audible call. His mother put him in the basket and sent him up the river. And guess what? The one who was actually seeking to destroy him was the one who actually protected and saved him. Woo! God knows how to call an audible in your life. See, it is the quarterback that calls the audibles. Why? Because he's on the field. He is a Messiah. He is the one who's watching where he can throw the ball without interception, so that the person that's in the goal line can catch the ball and score. Can you catch it in this season? Messiah, do you understand the audible? Can you understand the play? Can you hear the voice of God audibly when he says to shift and to move, and when he tells you what the enemy is getting ready to do? Because he wants you to win. He wants you to score. God calls audibles. Type it in the comments. God calls audibles. See, when they're at the line of scrimmage, you got to understand they're posted up at every play. My God, y'all hear this. When you are in the line of scrimmage in football, right? When they're playing the game, they are posted up for every play. There is an offense and a defense, right? And the defense is posted up on every play. But let me tell you, it is not until they get to the line of scrimmage that they position themselves differently. It is not until you get ready to get your goal, to make your goal, that the enemy stands firm in his stance. At the line of scrimmage, they get more fierce because they don't want their opponent to get a goal. My God, they don't want their opponent to score. The enemy does not want you to score in this season. So he posts up different when you get ready to score. You want to figure out where you are in this thing. You want to figure out where you are in God. Watch how your enemy is posted up. My God, watch how the enemy is posted up, because he wants to stop you from reaching your goal. God is calling audibles because he understands that it's time for you to make your goal, to reach your goal, to cross over, my God, so that you can win. God told me, he said he plays that he is making plays that will cause you to score. You got to be able to hear the audible of God. You got to be able to hear the voice of God audibly. That means you got to be able to hear, shift, and move. You've got to be able to adjust when he says adjust, so that you can score. He's calling audibles that will cause you to advance. The Lord said, this is the season that I am causing audibles, so that you can advance. Audibles that cause you to be above and not beneath. Audibles that cause cause you to win, audibles that cause you to score, audibles that put you in position to walk in your purpose. He says here, the sound of the audible, so that you can advance in purpose and in destiny and what it is that he has called you to do. See, in the when they are at the line of scrimmage, the quarterback job is to find a way in, my God, on today without being intercepted and stopped. God is your quarterback. He's causing my kataya. He says, I'm giving you instruction. I'm showing you opening so that you can win, so that you can score. This is a season, my God, on today of audibles. He said, I'm causing audibles so that you can begin to advance, my God. When something is audible, that means that it can be heard. Can you hear the voice of God? Can you hear the sound of advancement? Even though your enemy is posted up, you got to look for the opening. My God, today, you got to look for the opening so that you can receive the ball and score. My God, on today, you got to look for it so that you can get into the goal line and catch the ball so that you can begin to score. This is the season of advancement. He says, I'm calling audible so that my people can advance. I'm calling audible so that they can walk in their purpose and in their destiny. And just like King Jehoshaphat, when God called an audible, he called an audible in his faith and in his fear. Because when you go up against something that vast, when you go up against something that big, you become fearful. But I need you to understand, God called an audible for King Jehoshaphat, and he is no respecter of person. He called an audible and told him, I want you to do this, because when you do this, the battle is not yours, but it is the Lord. He called an audible in his strength. He called an audible in his courage. And God said, I'm calling audible so that my people can win, so that they can score. My God, Noah wasn't audible. The earth was in wickedness. The earth was crazy. And God called Noah as an audible. He said, Noah, you're an audible, my God, on today. Because I'm getting ready to destroy the world. I'm getting ready to do some things, but you're going to be my audible that's going to start this thing over. My God, who am I talking to this morning? He says, I'm causing audibles so that you can advance, regardless to how the enemy looks, and God, regardless to how he's posted up. What you need to understand, that God is causing audibles so that you can begin to advance like never before. God calls audibles. Write it in the comments. God calls audibles. God calls audibles. This is the season of audibles so that the people of God can advance. All you got to do is hear. All you got to do is work out the play. My God, on today, one wrong move will cause you to lose the position, and you'll never get the points. You'll never score if you don't hear the audible. My name is Evangelist Karen. I love you all. Like this video, share this video. Y'all, again, thank you to everyone who made Intercessors Arise 2023 a success. I love you with the love of the Lord, and there is nothing that you can do about it. This is a season of audibles so that you, the people of God, can advance. Like it, share it. Somebody needs to be encouraged today that no matter how the enemy is posted up before you reach the goal, that God is totally in control. There is an audible advancing season that is upon us. God bless you all. Have an awesome day.